So, question for you. Should you repot a mugo pine in spring? Let's find out, shall we?
Right, morning. Should you repot a mugo pine in spring? That is something I've been seeking the answer to for a number of weeks now, and I've failed to come up with a definitive answer. So far, I've read, yes, it's fine, to no, it will kill it, and you should do the repot in late summer. Wow. Some lovely white, is it mycorrhiza? So yeah, should you do it? When should you do it? I've been torn until a couple of days ago. I saw a video by Nigel Saunders doing exactly this, and he actually Barerooted his tree, saying he feels it will be fine. And that's the second question. When you repot these, should you Bareroot them? I've seen one video where they Barerooted laterally one half of the tree and left one half in its existing soil with the intention of, when they next did a repot, doing the other 50%, which I found quite interesting. The answer is, I certainly don't know. Nigel did say one snippet that made perfect sense. Do the repot before you've invested too much time in the tree, because if it does die, you won't be too heartbroken. So anyway, I've got a few things to get repotted this weekend, big ones. I'm hoping the rain stays away. So it's currently Saturday the 16th of March, and woke up to glorious sunshine, been out and about. Now it's sort of lunchtime, midday, and I'm going to get stuck into this. What I am anticipating, because it's straight from the garden centre, and you know, it got a bit of size to it, I'm expecting problems within the root base. So we will see. You can already see there's some pretty substantial roots wrapping around the tree, which makes getting rid of this excess soil a little bit more of a challenge. I'm not going to bore you with watching me comb through this, so I will get most of the legwork done and then come back when I've got an idea of what the tree looks like, what the roots look like specifically. Okay, so I've been at it for 5-10 minutes, and you can see the roots are very, very long. Interesting points. Some what look to be good roots coming up this side of the tree. However, that's not going to be the front. That is more likely to be the front, in which case we've got one that's much too high, and then I can't as yet see anything further down. However, what I'm going to do, because I'm never going to keep all of these, I'm going to cut through, and it should make getting into this upper half a little bit more accessible. Now, from what I've seen, general guidance is don't reduce the roots. Well, I've seen mixed sort of guidance by 30%. However, I'm just going to do a rough trim initially to get rid of anything too long. Okay, that will do initially. Still some big chunks of whatever soil it is that they use in garden centres, the compost. So I'm going to go back in and hopefully clear more of this up. I might have to do some snipping because we've got roots that, I mean, who knows where that one's stemming from, but it's coming up and around and back down. We've got one here that's coming up and around and down the back of the tree somewhere. This one I'm definitely not going to keep, so let me get rid of that one now. I'm probably going to go a little bit harder than what I initially wanted to, but if it survives, then at least I won't have to come in and replace all of the soil again. And it's just begun to rain. What more could you ask for?
Okay, so what I hoped would be some good roots here. You see that one goes and does a loop the loop. This one does a Zorro, and this one comes out quite far away from the tree. And in fact, these, I just can't keep them because even this, I mean, I can't. It's really hard to see what is going on elsewhere in the tree, and I don't want to wash the roots because all of that white, I'm sure it's mycorrhiza, I probably got the wrong term. The white fungi looking growth when I took it out of the pot was really, really healthy for the roots, and if I wash them, I will wash all of that away, which I do not want to do. So I'm faced with a decision, and I think that little swipe has just helped it. So if I put my root hook in that way, you can see that between those roots and this big root base down here, there's a significant gap. Now, I've got a choice. I could cut the tree there, and then I would be forced to keep these 3 roots. However, it would keep this trunk fairly short. Or I cut them off and then hope that there's something more workable lower down. I mean, there's certainly more growth lower down, but as you can see, none of it is particularly encouraging. It's all looping back and forth, and will likely if we were doing textbook pruning, likely need to come off. Obviously, I'm going to need to leave some on there. So that is the decision. Keep those top ones And I mean, there's not much growth down this side anyway. A couple of these lower down, which, like everything else, loop under the tree. This is the part of bonsai that I struggle with the most, because I'm sure to many of you watching this video the answer is probably obvious, but as I'm a novice, the answer is anything but. I'm going to chop these curling roots down here, they're just getting in the way. It's really hard because a lot of these roots near the bottom have grown around the trunk, so raking them out is like trying to, well, I guess like trying to undo your shoelaces with one of these if they're tied in a double knot. I don't know if you can see here, but over the years there's been a number of roots here that have all sort of came together in this big chunk, which won't matter a great deal if it's under the soil. I'm not really getting anywhere. So the decision needs to be made. Keep those three at the top, shorten the trunk, get rid of those three, try and make something out of this messy root base, which I don't want to do. I guess the third option is I keep both and pop it in a pond basket and hope that more growth happens up here. These are just no good, are they? I mean, that one's okay. I wonder if I cut them there, if that would stimulate more growth, better growth. Because at the moment, you can see if I get my... This isn't a trunk, this is a fuse of several big roots. I'm at a bit of a loss. Right, a little bit further, what I've been able to do, these roots that I thought were fused, I've just been working through there and been able to separate them somewhat. I mean, it hasn't made any decision easier because they're still all pointing straight down, but what I might do is take a couple of the big ones out. In fact, that is what I'm going to do, because I'm going to have to leave both these curly whirlies at the top and most of these below. But what I want to do is begin to free up some space underneath the tree to eventually hopefully be able to spread these out. I mean, that one would actually stay up there. This one, a little bit. So you can sort of see, hope. The question is now, if I remove that big central column, is that going to take away all of the roots and kill the tree? And the answer is probably yes. So I'm going to take away one little bit further. And as unhappy as I am with how it looks now, I'm gonna leave it there. I think if I do anything more that I want to do, it's going to take away a big chunk of the roots here, which, you know, better to come back in a couple of years' time and when I've got more roots to choose from, take those away, hopefully. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in and clean that cut up a little bit, get it nice and flush. And this one. And still this annoying compost that just sticks like glue. Compost or soil, don't know. Didn't stick anywhere else, just around this part where I'm having the problems. So the last thing I'm going to do, I'm not going to do much, is just take away any major, glaringly, obviously wrong roots. I mean, considering they're all glaringly, obviously wrong. It doesn't give me too much left to do, but what I don't want to do is leave any growing down into this space that I've now created. And actually, change of potting angle, maybe? Would that work? Or am I just thinking that to cater for the poor root base? I don't know. It's not a decision that really needs to be made now. So, but it could be an option. So all I'm looking for at the moment, anything like this, hopefully you can see that in the middle, that would potentially grow into that gap. And any roots with a sort of, that's a great example actually. That one I thought was growing downwards, it's growing upwards. So where's that coming from? Oh, it's already been cut. Get rid of these fine ones here. Last little trim on these long ones. So the angle could change. I'm not opposed to that. It would mean moving this branch slightly and changing the position of these slightly. But it's not totally offensive. Right, I'm going to get some soil. So I did have this thought when I started getting set up that, oh, the root's going to be lovely and I might put it in one of my bonsai pots, but no. So pond basket, perfect choice. Get as much air into these roots as possible and stimulate some some further growth. Just going to tidy that up a bit more. That'll do. So, I mean, I could see it from that sort of angle. That might work. Okay, I'm going to get some soil set up. Well, I've got it next to me. And I'm also going to grab my secret weapon. So, soil is my usual #2 ready mixed from Kaizen Bonsai. Not sure if it's the right soil for pines, but who knows. So you can see that I've got about 1.5 to 2 inches, and I'm going to bury this quite deep just because of how ungodly the roots are. So my secret weapon, is it a secret weapon? Will be this Root Max, and this is or contains the mycorrhizal fungi, the white stuff that was, well, you could see it when I first took the tree out of the pot. So following the instructions, sprinkle 5 grams, 1 teaspoon onto the base of the planting hole so that the powder is in direct contact with the roots. Okay, so this is the first time I've opened it. Comes with a little plastic seal, and then, interesting, I don't know if you can see that. Let me bring it right in and focus. It almost looks crystalline. I can't see if you can see that. Hopefully you can. Yeah, almost like ground metal of some sort. So, trusty teaspoon. And what I'm going to do to begin with is take half a teaspoon and sprinkle over the area. And you can see there, that's what half a teaspoon looks like. It is metallic looking, almost shiny. Well, the reason I'm only going to use half is what I'm going to do now is pop the tree in, and I will put it on an angle because there's every possibility that's the angle that it will go at. It'd be nice to give the roots some sort of direction, but it's not my limit. And now I'm going to half fill. See, I've got a load of bonsai pots under the bench. And I welcome the day when I ever feel ready to be able to use one. A bit more near where my hand is. Okay, so I'm just going to, there's always one tool I lose, and it's my little fake chopstick. It's gone. Not a problem. End of a little paintbrush will do. So I'm just going to work these in a little bit. And you can see I've left quite a lot of roots exposed. And what I'm thinking is I'm going to put another half a teaspoon of the Root Max in this layer to try and stimulate some growth higher up. So that's about 3/4 of a teaspoon. If I'm doing this wrong and you're watching this cringing, please do tell me in the comments. It'll be too late for this tree, but it'll be a good lesson for future ones. Okay, and then let's get the tree filled up. So I'm going to bury it well. It's going to stay in this pot now for, I imagine, 2 years. There's no reason for me to take it out and touch the roots. And then let's just give this another so all I'm doing is looking to remove any air pockets. And you'll normally see, like, there's one there, you'll end up with a big hollow as you push the soil down into that air pocket, which is good. Because air pockets can affect what happens when you water the tree. So I'm happy with that. Just going to check this side and right at the front. Okay. So if I do adopt this planting angle, my initial thoughts are it makes that branch there unnecessary, and then the tree primarily comes up here. Then that branch could be developed to fill that space, and this branch could be adjusted. However, that's me done. Will it survive? What do you reckon?